Hello guys and welcome back to another FPL video. My name is FPL Meerkat and today I've got my Game Week 16 team selection for you guys. Before I get into that, let's have a look at how the team did in Game Week 15. The weeks are coming very quickly and yeah, we've not really got a lot of time to make our decisions for these game weeks. I'm going to record this on Friday to hopefully post on Friday, or maybe this will be out on Saturday morning. Depends on how long it takes me to edit this. So yeah, it was a pretty poor game week for me. Game week 15, 33 points. I mean, it was a really poor game week, but it was a poor game week for most people. The average was only about 36. So yeah, I was only 3 points below the average. So wasn't too bad of a red arrow from about 188k to 217k, a small red arrow there of about 30k. So yeah, going through the team, I mean, the defense was an absolute horror show. I had Aitnuri and Bayer, who both were suspended. They were both out for the game. So I just decided to go with my current defense of Cash, Trippier and Tsimikas, as I'd already made a transfer this week and I didn't really fancy taking a -4. So I just went with it. Tsimikas was benched, didn't even come on. Cash was also benched, didn't even come on. So that's 4 of my defenders that didn't even play. And then Trippier had an absolute horror show against Everton. So yeah, a terrible score. I did my move to go Flecken to Dubravka purely because I wanted to save some funds, but also I just fancied the gift that we've been given for a 3.9 million goalkeeper for Newcastle, and I thought their run coming up is pretty good. I didn't expect them to get smashed so much by Everton. Newcastle just seem to be really poor away from home at the moment. And yeah, I mean, Sanchez was definitely the one to go for this week with an 11-point haul. Really well done if you had Sanchez in your team this week. Going to the midfield, all right. Bowen really saved me from what would have been quite a big red arrow. Still a little bit of a differential. Bowen, he's on the brink, isn't he, of being he's probably an uncommon 10-plate pick, isn't he? And Burmo obviously rolled his ankle, went off injured. Luckily, he scored a penalty before that, otherwise it would have been a blank. But yeah, it looks like he'll be out for a few weeks, which pretty much confirms him as a sell because he's going off to AFCON in about Game Week 21, I think it is. So he's probably not even going to be around for the double, even if Brentford do get one. So yeah, and Burmo just has to be a sell. Really unfortunate. Nice that you got some points in the team for me, but yeah, he's going to have to be sold. Salah with the captaincy blanking. I did feel a little bit off about Sheffield. The Sheffield game, Liverpool just seem to struggle in those kind of fixtures, especially when they are away from home. And yeah, he didn't really look very on it at all, Salah. Liverpool didn't really look that good in the game. They obviously got the win in the end, but yeah, it didn't look great. Son with a blank and potentially an injury as well, another thing that we have to worry about there. And Saka getting an assist in a 4-goal game against Luton isn't great. I wish he got a bit more there, but at least he got some points at the very least. Darwin getting 3 points off the bench to get an assist and a yellow card. Amazing stuff from him. Really good assist as well, to be fair. And Watkins getting 1 point against Man City. A brilliant performance against Man City, but yeah, unfortunately he didn't get the returns that I wanted. And yeah, the bench still an absolute horror show. Could have started Alvarez, didn't really want to against Aston Villa. I did think Aston Villa would do well in that game, and it turns out they did. But yeah, bit of a rubbish week. Not many people had a great week. There weren't too many massive scorers in the game week, but we will get onto some of them in a little bit. So moving on to the Game Week 16 team. Not too sure what to do at the moment, if I'm perfectly honest. I do have double Newcastle defence away at Spurs. The away form of Newcastle has been absolutely horrific, and Areola does seem to have picked up an injury as well. So it does look like I'm probably going to have to play Dubravka and Trippier in this game. Trippier I'm all right with because he's just offers such great attacking threat. He can easily get a return in that game. But will he even start? I imagine he will. I think dropping him after a really poor performance will just ruin his confidence. But there is alternatives. They do have Livramento and Hall who can play as the fullbacks. So it'll be interesting to see if Trippier does start that game. Someone I would really like to get is Trent Alexander-Arnold, who just continues to absolutely smash it. but I've just got no way of getting him in. I don't have the funds. I already have a triple up on Liverpool. It would take so much to get him in, and I'm still wondering how I'm going to get Haaland back. With the Son injury, that does pose some kind of a route to get in Haaland, but it does require taking out a forward, and I've got Mbeumo injured, and it would also require another move. I think I don't quite have enough funds. So I think I'm going to have to brave it without Haaland for this game week, which is terrifying because he's against Luton, and no one's really got a very standout fixture at the moment. I have currently got the captaincy on Bowen, purely because I don't like many of the fixtures there, and Burmo's injured. And Salah, I just don't feel confident about him at the moment. I don't know what it is. He just doesn't seem to be setting the world alight. I've currently got Darwin on the bench, which does look terrible now that I look at it, because he's probably going to start that Crystal Palace game, even though Gakpo has looked really good, I think, for Liverpool recently. I'm starting Alvarez as well with the away fixture against Luton. It is such a good fixture, but I'm not confident about Alvarez at all. I'm not happy with a lot of my team, to be honest. Darwin for getting benched, Alvarez for not really doing much, and Burmo's injured. Son's a doubt. The rest of the attack there is fine. Aït-Nouri's injured, but hopefully he will be back for this game. Again, I will have a look at the press conference news and see if we get any update whether he's going to play. I have seen Wolves fans say that he needs to start if he's fit, because Bueno, who is the player currently playing at left back, just isn't attacking enough at all, and it's really damaging them in terms of going forward. So yeah, I'm hopeful that Aït-Nouri is going to play that. I'm hopeful that Tsimikas is going to play because he got his rest against Sheffield. Cash rooted to the bench. Don't want to touch him at all. Honestly, considering transferring him out as well. I could be taking a -4 this game week, as there are so many things that I would like to chop and change here. Cash to Porro is definitely something I've looked at. I've looked at Solanke as well. His fixtures look really good coming up, but again, I'm ideally going to take out Darwin and Alvarez in order to fund the Haaland move, and then have a 4.5 million or thereabouts forward on the bench. And then I do need to downgrade someone in midfield. And Burma getting injured is actually okay, because I was planning on taking him out anyway for the AFCON period anyway. So I could potentially move early to someone like Palmer, who I was considering getting in, just because Chelsea's fixture run is so good coming up. I'm just not too sure who else I could go for other than Palmer and Gordon. They seem to be the two very obvious picks in midfield at the moment. There's not really anyone else I've got my eyes on. The only other one is Bowen, who's already in my team. So I'm just not too sure. I can't take a punt on a Liverpool player because I've got a triple up already. I could potentially move for someone like Foden. That would be interesting. I don't actually know. I think I've got the exact amount of money to move to Foden. I will just check. Okay, surprisingly, Foden is actually 7.5 million. So I do comfortably have enough money to go in Burmo to Foden, which I do like the sound of, as Foden is quite the differential at the moment. There's a few injuries at Man City, so he's definitely going to play. And it does cover me nicely for not having Haaland, I feel. He will probably get a lot of chances, but I'm hoping that this Luton game is a bit like the Bournemouth one, where the centre-backs just stuck to Haaland for the whole game, really suffocated him. He couldn't do anything in the game, and all the other players were scoring. Obviously, Doku does seem to be out as well for this one. So, yeah, Rodri's going to be back. It's really interesting, isn't it? I'm not too sure about my moves this week, but I will obviously post my team on Twitter when I've made my moves. I don't think I'll be taking any more than a -8. A -4 does seem to be on the cards. I will definitely be making a move, as I have got 4 injuries. I could bench them all, but then that would mean playing cash against Arsenal and Bayer against Brighton, which both sound like terrible ideas. So probably a defensive transfer and a midfield transfer is what I'm planning on doing, and just braving without Haaland. The plan will be now to get him back in either game week 19 or 20, probably 20, but if I can get him back in sooner, that would be great, because I didn't realise as well, Salah's obviously going to be going to AFCON, so I could take out Salah to fund Haaland back in, and then I just have to worry about getting Salah back in when he's back, but he's quite a bit cheaper. I do have some value tied in Salah, so it will be a bit more expensive to get him back in, but it's a lot easier, I think, to fit Salah back into the team than it is Haaland. So yeah, really interesting there. Lots of moves I could be making. Again, whether I think there's a better captaincy option than I've got than Bowen, I'm not sure. I could potentially go for Foden as the captain if I'm bringing him for that Luton game, but it is away, and Luton have been really good at home. In fact, there's a lot of away fixtures there. I could even potentially, if Son was back fit, I think the home fixture against Newcastle was pretty good, and I don't really like having the Newcastle double defense. So yeah, I'm really not hopeful about this game week. I have been very consistently been getting green arrows and then red arrows. Every red arrow I've got has been followed by a green. So hopefully that means a green arrow is waiting for me in game week 16. But yeah, I'm not hopeful for it at all. Moving on to the mini league team of the game week, we have Jared Felham with me, myself, and Isaac with 65 points with a -4, so 61 points overall. Really, really nice score. The bench boost played as well very early, but 19 points on the bench boost is really, really respectable, to be honest. Dawson there with 8 points. Murillo on the... I do love Murillo as a pick, to be honest. Unfortunately, he got 0 points. But yeah, Leno getting 6 points. Cunha. And of course, the big man at the back, Virgil van Dijk, getting 14 points. This is a really refreshing team to look at. This is a very active manager, but has picked some real differentials there. Souček as well. Palmer getting the 8-pointer, which is nice. Johnston as the goalkeeper. This is a super differential team, and I really, really like it. And yeah, the bench boost used early, but to massively capitalise on the points. I'm sure that's a massive green arrow as well, given what was quite a rough game week. So yeah, really, really well done there, Jared. And looking at the team of the game week leaderboard, Milos, who there, but I believe got the silver medal, so he's up to second there, joint second along with Chris. And yeah, we've nearly got a full board of gold medals there. Igor that down at 19th with 4 top 10s. He is currently the #1 manager in the league at the moment. Only a silver medal though, but 1 gold medal sends him all the way up to second. So yeah, I'm assuming that will happen sooner rather than later. He's a very, very consistent manager there. And yeah, definitely things are definitely tightening up. And soon we will probably have maybe in the couple game weeks, we will have a full table of gold medals for getting the top score in the mini league for the week. And that's going to wrap it up for this video, guys. I hope you have enjoyed. If you've made it to the end of the video, please like and get subscribed if you're enjoying the content on this channel. It's been quite difficult to get all of these videos out given all of the quick turnaround and the fact that I started my new job this week. So yeah, I've been rushed to try and get this stuff out, but luckily we've got a little bit of a break after the next one. So that'll be nice. I hope you guys are enjoying the content. I hope you get a green arrow this game week, and I'll see you in the next FPL video.